Sanitize your hand. Every opportunity you get, make sure that your hands are. They say, no, and then also I like, if in this season, one of the things I tell people is, if you really don't have to go to a place, please just ignore it, because they can. We are hoping that we won't come to that point where they will say that, okay, it's lockdown again or something like that based on, but let's protect ourselves. The most important thing in this season is to stay alive. Make sure you stay alive. And sometimes it's not just for you, but for your family. Yeah. There's a woman in the country, I don't want to say, they 3 women, they stayed home throughout, lockdown season, all those things. And then after everything was released, a friend who said, came to visit one time. 2 of them died. One went into, So sometimes it's not just for you, for the people that are close to you. They don't want to be. So protect yourself to protect your loved ones. And one last thing I want to say is that for those who have lost loved ones, we sympathize with you. And we know this too shall pass. Be strong. I know that this won't last forever. We know very soon this too will pass.
So with this wonderful submission advice, I wish this government will have something like COVID ambassadors. So you will be one of them. Because it's
COVID.
But so what brought you here in Takrady?
Some personal
you found 2 from me part of me
1212 be and akaka me konam so no mentumi makroma men ensra busuafo nti me mia me ni na me fanfem and say enamity.
All right. So how did it all start? I mean, Joe Mettle, boom, gospel.
Everybody keeps saying boom, right? But it wasn't boom.
It was boom because maybe because you were.
Okay, so let's start it this way.
Okay.
This year is actually the 10th year I released my very first album. First album, but not even first single. So my first album I had like those type of songs like then Shira and all those things. That was my very first album, and before then I was with Soul Winners for a couple of years, and then before Soul Winners I was with I think before I joined Soul Winners I was with Cindy Thompson, but not as a singer. Even I think I was with her as a percussionist.
Oh, okay.
And before Cindy Thompson, I happened to sing with the late Danny Nette for a couple of years as well as a background singer. So if I I'm not that old, but if I put that all together, that tells you I started a long time ago and very young. So I've always been around, but I guess God has his own time where he elevates or promotes a man. That's how come we're here today.
In terms of the formal Soul Winners now.
Oh, Soul Winners never heard that when I'm joining. Soul Winners, Soul Winners is like entering into its maybe almost, I think, if I'm not over exaggerating, it's entering its late 20 or 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Since it was formed.
So how was the experience like?
Oh, amazing. Also, the way they handle things is different from a general group. Like everything is very masculine, and they helped. They gave me a lot of strength because maybe obre. So never knew, and then they were hard workers. If we have to achieve something until it's done, nobody goes home. We can rehearse one song for like about 30 to 40 minutes, one song, and then you. And you may want that because so they are perfectionists, and so they taught me a lot whilst I was there.
So moving on, was it that difficult for you? I mean, breaking.
It was a difficult decision because on the night man and also it was like major, but it was time for me to move on. And I think one of the things was, it was actually because of school. Around that time, I call back to uni.
Okay.
Intina ammonia gigs, and I mean, so I was worrying them. In the chain, I say, because of school, nti modemo my will be for and lead the group whilst I'm in school. Into me, I realized it was working without me. I said, there's no need of going back in, and then that was when I went solo.
Okay, so a professional marketer, do you used to practice mainstream marketing?
Me dey hear me amejuma.
Oh, okay.
Me dey hear me amejuma, but like I don't work in any office as a marketer, no. But I use the concepts and the knowledge to improve my own craft and small businesses here and there.
Because na me papa tonyum na me of abi tonyum, so I took after one more and other.
Oh,
would you start saying like
papa wa borrow. My dad don't sing. Maybe my mom, even that is not proper singing. I think what I would say is my mom can hold a note. Not like that. But and put a so mid the end I think it was just a gift God decided to give me. If you ask me, I think
or you saw that space, that vacuum, not
no, not really. Since I was young, I've always loved the music. I didn't think that it was going to be this way, but growing up, and then I started discovering that there was more there for me. If it's as I started to me board drum, so it was just the drum, and then to me pick maybe a keyboard keys kakra, na ma pick bass kakra. Until I realized the passion was there. Until at a point na me started drumming the boy juma kakra na juma. It was a sorry boy. No, I was. But then said a poor boy when you actually there. No. Cash now bedroom first. You know, that was what it was for me. Until I got the real encounter to know, say, God had bigger plans for me, not about money. And then that was when I started taking it serious, even with the singing. Because at the time, I'm into that. You know, because I was in the choir. Remember, I would say, and then I joined a choir at church. I came to meet some boy in a board drum already. And I'm useless.
I feel now.
Then I started paying attention to the singing. I said, and so it started that way for me. And then I realized, oh no, there's something there for me. And whenever I ministered, the experience was different. And so I started waiting on the gifts, trusting God to know what path He wanted me to get on near day. Fast forward.
Working with Cindy Thompson, Pastor Daninetti, and Reverend Tom Bright. Next experience, let's say.
Obviously, each one of them had a different experience. I think the first time I met Chimpa, I know was because I was with Cindy. Ooh. You know, I remember we had to Kwaiko, Togo, we went to Abidjan, you know, and you believe around that time percussion geke, and then I remember, and the idea was that said drama ni ho amenye bi abo, because I had also learned the songs, so I was more or less like the assistant drummer, and then but nipana know about drum no. Onyari onashing no onye like he's still playing and it's the same way, and that's actually my drama. He was then Cindy Thompson's drama.
Wow.
When I was there, and then I was a percussionist, and today we're still together. He's still been with me for years till today.
Wow.
Yeah, because he started playing very young. Yeah.
So how's the journey been?
It's had its great sides, it's had its challenges. Quite a lot. And so I will be sounding specific. And yes, you better.
Share the challenges. I mean, when you started, resistance I will face in the industry, in the ministry, and all that. Let's say I
think for me, started some of the challenges were Sikasem. Was that around that time, people hardly believed in to say what gifts. Say be when you big producer be a on one a distribution company in the production because I was scout they show more and so it was really difficult for me until a few people in my church started believing in what, and then secretly started supporting me. And then in addition to that, people really looked down on me. Oh, and yeah, me share pa.
Oh, sir.
I remember Madam could be inviting me. Sorry, me drew on a catch software. So Madam for no can no send it on any software share me 50 me tisube seminar. Sana obisa Madam for say, do you think we are joking here?
Wow. I don't know who here.
Oh, na say Satan the other way I'm saying. Oh, me concern is you know, and I I thought he thought I look weird. Like, what is this? You know, my trouser, kasebi ni my shoe. So, but it was difficult. But each time anybody did that or looked down on me like that or did that, I don't know. I'm always grateful to God for that attitude. It made me work harder. It made me draw closer to God. Because I'm like, when I afraid, and so you are the one I know. Like, I believe in your word. Irrespective of everything that is happening, I still hold on to the word you've given me and the promise over my life. And that was it. And so every time I went harder, I punched, I did more, I trusted God that I knew that, you know, his word will be fulfilled in my life. And that's it.
And the first time I recorded Wow in your studio, the experience necessary.
Oh, it was nice. I like me bossa with you. And then I made pity, but Satan, I said me bossa. Young person, some of those songs, I don't even want to hear them. Like I sing, one time a guy said, there's this guy who I've known for years. So he had some of the cassettes and then he converted them into CDs. So he kept some. And then I said, I'll start converting MP3 and all this. I said, hey, then send me this thing again. And do that. Because this can't be my voice. Obitia over ministry. But it was fun.
But those works didn't come out, right?
I never released them. So even before I joined Showbiz, I had those productions. Oh yeah, yes.
Wow.
It was actually one of those projects that led me to meet the late Danny Nete. Because so be introducing me, say, there was this guy who wanted to produce my album, and also before Danny, now on T to know if the mix and everything was okay and Sana. So and then for the first time we had a conversation. He said okay, he will listen, and then we sent it. I can't remember that time which engineer, whether I think that time it probably maybe Koda. That time I remember. And then later he called and said, oh, but I'm putting on this live recording and I'm gathering some singers if you're interested. I'm saying, quick, and that was when I threw my album away.
Wow.
I think that when I started working with him, I realized there was so much I had to learn. So I threw the album somewhere, man released that.
If you go and call formal music school, say me
oh, because we did about 2 months.
Wow.
And I'm a baby.
Are they more than?
No. There was an issue there, I think, around that time. No. Vivi Kululuvi. And Jimmy Sika and Kofi.
Oh, lad.
Man Kobio.
It was any Joe Mettle when I come up. I was Sky Power 93.5 and Star TV. So we promised you that our studio. So he's here where they send them in Seminole. I feel crown a year build up. Oh, ball like I say, yeah, warm up. Yeah. Or a multiple award winner. He's paid. He's still paying his dues. Yeah. I will put it that way. You share your gospel space, no? Bibisa asa question and ma ovan wo UK Lydia Asma also atonyum nene kasa anche bia na oba bibisa ne say normally people compare the old gospel to the very recent ones here obviously no general kasa evolve and bibisa said you want him nana utia oti say utie nyum. Her answer was that, well, the old ones, because they had enough time to write. Okay, they got the inspiration. And I say, yeah, prepare home. The same question goes to you. Young compared to generations, no?
When somebody says something like that, it's too generic. Like, you've generalized it too much. It's a personal, I would say, opinion to say, yeah. For you to think even that this generation don't spend time to prepare is off a bit of because people spend a lot of time in this present day and age. In fact, people actually put more into production now. Back in the day was programming, so now you need to gather a whole band, get people coming to the studio. There are live productions. You have no idea what goes into it today, and to also times changes. There are seasons. Every season has a sound. It does not make the old ones obsolete. Yeah. But then at the same time, it also does not mean that the new is not good. So it just times and seasons, which has changed things. So there are people in this day and age, they can't stand the old sounds. I mean, I know people who can't stand some of the old sounds. Literally, sometimes to make because they want to hear the new sounds. Even there are people now that for them to appreciate the old ones, you need to approach it in a new dimension for them to appreciate it. So it's just time that brings about those changes. Every generation comes with its own sound and its own demand for a particular area. So it's not black and white to say way a papa sing way. Whatever God wanted to do with them that time, he did. Even the people that you are saying that they did those songs, today they are changing, they are doing other songs because some are still in the system. And check if the songs they did back then are the same songs they are doing today. No. So that should tell you that things are changing. They are the same people. So would you say that today those people are not taking time to do their production like they used to? No. So it's just the times that have changed, sounds have changed. But people still appreciate that, which is good. And let's say if I decide to re-record an old song in a different way, it means I still appreciate it. Sure. But at the same time, I want to interpret it in my own way, which is relevant to this day. You get it? So that's basically what it is.
You sure the gender imbalance in the gospel? No, I'm saying nationwide, but sometimes I feel that
worldwide.
Worldwide.
There are more male artists than female artists.
But so to say, it's been the status quo. Yes, how are you push? How can we push the male to
the female? You mean?
No, male.
There are more males than females.
Gospel. Yeah. Gospel man doesn't say mema. Really? Sure.
There are more males than females. It's because of how you are looking at it and where you are looking at it from. If you generalize tell me. A member does say mao. Because sometimes, I'm
not to gospel Ghana.
Check.
Joe, this is serious.
You don't know. Or you think there are more female gospel artists than male? No. I would say what it is rather is probably maybe in terms of the rating of hits, probably there are more females that are more like they're popular. But there are more male artists than female artists.
Wow.
The difference is this. Female artists normally work with management most of the time. It's only few female artists you get who work by themselves. Whereas the male artists, most of them work by themselves. You see, so the female artists normally have like people that push them. So Tonyum obi no all the back. But the male artists, you don't say okay, be I'm not a baby me artist. We won't say no no son and I'm the manager over here on an interview so manager and crying so on. So I think so sometimes the females have that tendency of being pushed more. They get people investing in them. I don't know. But there are more males than females.
So can you say that this new phase of gospel thing, am I being market shake?
And yes, okay, I won't catch up. I think someone catch up. This is the thing. I think the introduction of technology, and some of them, because if you don't have anyone helping you to make it work, you will still be waiting for the old ways of going about things. Now, Obuwa still ochesi CDs, ochesi the fact that I send a CD called baby. It doesn't mean that CDs are not going, but it's not working like it used to. So Obiwa, I mean, I've asked a musician before about iTunes. So besides, I'm saying, "Daddy, so this is like musician what show system more." Or say iTunes, say, "Daddy," and then it falls on only the crow. You understand? So those are some of the things that some of them need to catch up with, so that they can. But then the other challenge is sometimes the people that follow, maybe them too are probably not online people as well. So and yeah, so much actually, but I think that maybe it's mainly those things being introduced to them, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So gospel musicians, are you guys getting the needed support?
From
maybe
I think there's support, but it can be better. If you ask me, I think it can be better if we have more of the people rallying behind us. Even, I mean, a lot of them do already, but if more can join in terms of maybe promotions on air, in terms of maybe any other support that can make it work, it would help. And also, I think sometimes we also appreciating them, that will work. I think it's a hand in hand kind of thing. Yeah.
Gospel industry in the sciences here as it stands now. Just be honest.
In what capacity?
Will say the hit songs we used to have,
I think it's not the songs, it's the promotions. If you've realized, the promotions have dropped because most of the people are finding it difficult to fund their projects than they used to. A lot of people are finding that very difficult, and like I said, things have changed a bit. So because back in the day, the people that used to believe in the music in a way where they invest in it because they knew they would sell CDs, they would do all those things, a lot of them have pulled out. So now a lot of the musicians are the ones doing their own thing. So the songs in there, they are doing the songs, but a lot of time the songs don't enjoy much airplay like it's supposed to.
You actually invested in what you are doing, and that's what most of them failed to do when they were up there. Now I'm told, I'm reliably informed, John didn't tell me. So wow, band set what do you call
equipment?
Yeah. Yeah. What do you call bow shows and all that? Don't you think that also can even know ask me a case?
I know that I won't be able to, because some of those people too, you don't know what they invested in. Some may have invested in other things that probably didn't work the way they expected it to. And in addition to that, I want to say, we all came from different backgrounds. So sometimes, our approach to life is different. If you are, we're investing in BB, or feel say because the reason for most people is, okay, me say because I happen to also be a musician, I know I can manage things like that. I'm not going to invest in another business thinking it will bring him some form of profit that would fuel the music and keep it going. And I be so it would be difficult to randomly say Sam didn't do it. Some didn't invest and I invested. No, that's not it. I guess maybe the one I did worked for me, and that's by God's grace.
Okay, so you need to Mettle come on. I was Sky Power 93.5 FM so na Star TV. Now I say will be able be so extra kakra. But be moment here me feel sir we can do more.
Oh, definitely.
We can do more, and me share talent wa sorry them woman here that push to get to where they want to get to now. Enormous a dozen. Now, have you thought of establishing a music school where you can unearth talent, where you can
I mean, I'm sure when the time is right. Sometimes, obviously, you think about things like that, but like we're saying, then you're cash.
Yes,
running a school is not a joke. Even if sometimes the facility and all those things, but also, I think because of the time we live in, like the COVID season, everything has slowed down. But I'm sure a time will come when, because I have people that by God's grace I train or I mentor in a way. So it's happening. It's not like it's just not a school, but then there are people around you that you mentor. People are both far and near. Some of them are not necessarily in Ghana and all that. So it's happening, but it's not in a physical place. If that makes sense.
When you hear the name Koda, what comes to mind?
Kofi Duyanto. I just
say Koda.
Koda is a friend of mine. I'll call him. Koda is more like the big brother to most of us. So yeah, he's seen a lot. So there are lots he knows, and he's able to use that to help and encourage the ones around him.
Now a family man. I mean, a wife, kids, and all that.
Who? Him? Me? No, I don't have kids yet.
Okay, but still a family man.
Oh, definitely.
Yep. To know the compare time and now you're saying you're not. Humanity saying not saying no more since you see
in terms of what?
Maybe sour, maybe
no, in terms of life.
Yeah, life.
Oh no, definitely two would tear down 10,000. So 2 is always stronger than 1. Always. Because there are lots of things now. I worry. And yes, me decide no way.
Yeah. I'm say over 2 book.
Oh no, but no more.
One guy say on the show. John.
And yeah, John the guy.
What guy? But no John I whisper. What do you say me? What did I say to your show?
I say any guy say as a man can say
Joe, featuring.
I think I need to look at this carefully because I think everybody feels like I don't do features.
Yeah,
that's what everybody keeps saying. But I do features. Like I have, let's say, on my last album, for instance, I featured what? I featured Calvis, I featured Jonathan Nelson, I featured Wine Pobium. I featured somebody too. I can't remember.
But there's one thing about us. We don't pay attention to need your 2 radio feature. Normally, our focus is on your 2
and at the album. If you go to the God of Miracle album, I featured in Tokozo, I featured Ohima Messi, I featured Luigi, I featured even some of my singers on some of the. See, every album, at least there are 3 or 4 artists I may feature most of the time. And sometimes once the features to happen to be the nature of the song. Sometimes people assume that okay, once you are doing an album, you should feature somebody. Albums be or sometimes it doesn't really need a feature. When it does, you do it. Yeah.
So the first gospel artist to win the ultimate in our prestigious award scheme, VGMAs. How does that feel?
It's humbling. It's really humbling, though.
But were you surprised?
The word wasn't surprise. I think so. Somebody said something and said anyone that's in the category stands a chance to win. So I was optimistic.
That you're going to win?
No, I was optimistic that it's possible I can win. It's possible. So that gave me the energy to say, "Man, we need to we dinner fasting now, and then and nobody loves to fail. But at the same time, when you win, when Jomoka say for the first time, say they just afar.
And apart from that, we win awards. So me put the Jimana me and put the awards na margin was so another awards. Robert play on the Brabum.
I think that it has a way that it encourages. We're human, no matter what we do spiritual things, but we're still human. The problem is when it controls what we do. That's where the problem is. Where everything you do is centered around it, so you plan towards it. If me we are made to me win me, that's where the problem. So it means that rather than whatever you do attracting something, you are allowing that thing to control how you do what you do. That's where the problem is, but I don't think it's necessarily bad. Everyone has a different mandate, like I said, and I feel like my enough with even some of those areas, but it has a way that somebody wins it and they are encouraged to know that my music is not just reaching the people I thought they are just reaching, but it's going beyond that. It's being acknowledged as well. It's been appreciated. It's making impact. It has a way that it helps add to what you already do.
So you might have heard some industry players complaining that you didn't deserve it and all that. How did you take it?
Opinions.
Yeah.
You can't cut all of them. And secondly, some instrument will not be cry when you also sound or make a channel. Everybody who wins won't deserve it in the eyes of certain people. So why don't you say when the categories come, one can say the person doesn't deserve to be in the category. But one can say, I think the win here, I'll say, because what you think say be our woman only winning. You see, once the person goes into the category, they stand the chance of winning. The odds can be in their favor and they can win. Sometimes people are able to me win maybe by 5 votes. it means that people voted more. You know, so things happen. But once you go into the nomination, it means you can win. That's what awards are.
Joe, my name is also question. Show beyond your fair performance now.
Oh, they be.
What do you look out for?
Sensitivity. I mean, there are places you can be called and you don't sense to go, or sometimes you can literally hear don't go.
It is a focus that you appeal to a certain niche market. Do you agree?
I don't deny it. I can't be. You can't. If you are loved by all, the Bible says, everybody might not accept you. And secondly, I believe that people are stronger in certain communities than others. It does not mean that the others can't go there, but then when you put two people together in a particular community, sometimes one can be stronger than the other.
All right. Yeah, I worship kakra. By 10 minutes, spend your beautiful lines. Now, Uncle Joe at the train. Come on, Joe Mettle. He's huge.
Worship. Keep that one.
He's huge. You need also to me in Konya kakra because I'm very different from the others. I just wanted to add some, to the challenge. Okay, so Joe, you have your phone lines, so people engage you.
Okay.
Or maybe solve questions.
No problem.
Yes. You Joe Hanmo. You need a code and you or say okay, so that's what it's saying.
Oh, Akoye.
Yeah,
it's working.
It's working for
Oh, man, that's what I meant. It was a calm trip for me. It wasn't. Okay, so
you didn't come with your wife?
No, my wife is home.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's do this music break. You better engage you Joe.
Jesus, you're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Jesus, you're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things you Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are you're my everything. Say, I call you Zion. You're my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you
right, so you are my everything. Joe Mettle, Sky Power 93.5. And live on Star TV. 26 after 5. Let me go straight to Facebook. So Jake on the beat. Say I would love to work with Joe Mettle. That's from Jake. Well, Lydia Adumba Asma, God richly bless you, Nana, and the team for your support. Francis Enu, well, talked about Willie, but another one from Lydia. I say, God bless you, Minister Joe Mettle, and I say, hallelujah, glory be to your name. Yes, I'm watching you guys live, my boss. Thank you so much. And Pio Kwabnado Uncle says, Nana, please ask him if he would want to do something with a secular musician. Joe.
If I want to
do something,
if I'm led.
If you are led, you will. If you are not led, you won't. So you need
to be led by the Lord.
Oh, okay, I see. We say we thank God for His faithfulness. We say Wase Kropon listening to you guys. Great show. Thank you so much. We say God bless you, Joe Mettle. We say yes, we are wearing nose masks in the studios. So Kweku, so I'm watching you guys from a book room. Thank you so much for watching. And also, you're back in camera, but we are doing a little worship here in the studio, so we should be in the spirit. John K.
When you mention Asafu Yehovah Utimuna Yatikuni Asafu Yehovah Utimuna Asafu Yehovah Unjumenyi nawa Dawasi Asafu Yehovah Utimuna Ohine Yetikuni Asafu Yehovah Asafu Yehovah we are tuma kumenye kupa tumi emudida tumi nina emudi Asafu Yehovah we are tuma kumenye kupa tumi emudida tumi nina emudi tumi nina emudi tumi nina emudi Sasi ao tumi nina eye budi una ubo surunia sasi ao tumi nina ra una ubo surunia sasi. All power belongs to you, Jesus. To me Asafu Yehovah niye Asafu Yehovah niye Hallelujah Asafu Yehovah
bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Janko po nhyira o yenya be ma jo. Yeah, be phone line say 0244103301 0244103301 and 0241610547 0241610547. Friday only yenya be ma jo and Chicken come Joe Mettle is in the western region. I ain't there who know what and can radio be so and I said Obeya there. The version here be phone line so na and then Chicken come so 0244103301 and 0241610547. Yo.
Yes, sir.
Yati different style of music. Okay, gospel music, worship, and. What's your strength actually?
Wow. Hey, I would say.
Good, me too. What's strength here?
My strength is gospel. Anything gospel, anything gospel, it works for me.
So what I mean is that yes, of course.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, I think the ballads, like the slow songs, the fast songs, the reggae, high life. That's what I mean by any. Before anything else, I was I still am. I'm a musician as well, so I'm able to normally adapt. But I guess I love the slow songs more.
Okay,
I really love slow songs.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, me back on your second. Yo, me back on Uncle Joe too.
Yo, no you na boy na kakuma pa.
Kakuma.
Ni wujuma ni nara. Yadawase asafu Yehowa udimuna
Yedi kunim asafu Yehowa. Noah.
Hello.
Noah, Metunka.
My friend, then, no conscience of Christ.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Samson. Now, I am a prejudice.
Oh, okay.
If you want something to know, I have done what it in yan and feed but mamma, a yaka. I'm a tomb. The dog boy.
Yebeba ho nti awo ma me few minutes yebeba ho ne ya to am.
Okay, ma.
Yes, sir.
Alright, that's it. So 0244103301. Me patch off and so na me fa we why that's it. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Oh, Jinaso. Hello, good evening. Okay, so 0244103301. Obeti me friend awuni yenia Bema Joe. Atwetwe come up. Joe, okay, let me do this one. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, I'm Bajwan Sakani.
With the black chat, the cattle Sakrade.
Your black chat yet you.
Mr. Chief of Guys Namiko. Na so we are no kind of. And you na Vinya Joe, whatever. Sa na dey ekono na minya na kwame
yes
I say papa ma enema bi koso sakwade ha ai kama kaka efa animtifo no mutu promote wo mo I say ene ya wa majo open radio so na efra no pa ana efra wi mo start ye mo ne no a na no nyima odi aba mo di mo oto na o chekire mu tania efa fa so a o telu no mo ya de na ponchiamu na enianu ma o ti ho nyina obi ache na de bia so no na ponchiamu nya sa se obi agri bia o di ba bia no so ni na eyepa na ponchiamu
so yada se pa so 0244103301. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, I'm Bajwan Sakani.
Akwesi.
Bago Bajo Joe Mettle was studio had motel.
No me do papa. Oye de wan sama mi che interview po na wa kama kuma. Ai. Na ma personally no ko no yenda mala. Ai.
Yada se pa. Yakopon so shira se. Mutie se ma wa kan ya.
On Kenya ya.
Amen. Yada se. Okay. All right. Also bet me your friend I want Uncle. Now mummy sana asem. Mummy sa Joe asem mame. Mummy sana asem mame 0244 1033 01. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Because mummy sa Joe asem nsem bebre wo ho. Mummy sa no. Ana na abo ndan jima.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Nyamina do mo na we.
Nyamina do na nyasi. Because you see how many months I said I was you aware.
Why was it? How many months and now I have it? Hey, I'll tell you soon small. No, question no, sir. Question.
Yes. Yeah, I said, well, I said, Mr. Obey you one mama. Why?
Why?
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. But Joe, that's what I had a morning introduction from Mamma.
Uncle Joe.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. But don't be a guy in the feature Bunoni, no, them guy no.
Luigi.
How did you discover him, or a musician that another ABR one discover? And the second question here, like I mean with the kind of voice how I worship no. It was very nice for you to do like a very long worship with Methodist songs. I don't know if you have one or if any I would like you to do Methodist songs worship for us to.
I commented this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Luigi is part of my team. He is one of my backup singers. And then I thought that, he would be able to interpret that song.
So, your questions. Hello, good evening. Hello? Wait, just I'm picking with a young name. Okay, so 0244 1033 01. Uncle Joe, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Hey, now Joe, one best our phone. What penny you want to man the circular from Juma. That's it.
Yamen come.
One comes home. Hey.
To yes, Yamema, Uncle William, I want him by so.
Yes, Yamia,
by so to my
uncle. No, yeah. Oh, no, Casa, Atina, yes. No, yeah. Oti Jansen Nifasu Redeemer Enunti Yes Roshi Yes Nyamia Oyowa Wen Bibiaranso No yeah.
Hello, good evening. Yeah, became a class no crack. I bet you probably me Sabina, Yaman Kujo, because almost so, and then also to me, hello, good evening.
Good evening,
Yes, but one is our name.
You,
yes, you.
Yes, sir.
I call back the
yeah.
Of me. You say, we come for and I got for no, and I'm so I pray, got one to 40 years away from the mandate of God's word, you know, I'm a business as mission and where you are getting to. And dear advice and all the and before we gospel we say no more whereby nobody can. And if it is that way, I can't believe this my fight, this my yin, and business oriented, this my yin,
good question. Joe,
Man, you carry
or say, good one, I can say. Now say, I want to no, and yes, praise field. I mean, business as usual. And a day futu na woman. One person more young man, sebi, and yet sabotage so many so. Say yeah, the amwa.
No, so we will have to go back to the one who called us from connect back to God. Our source is Christ. If it's not working, go back there. In fact, the point is you're never supposed to disconnect anyway.
Yeah.
So make sure that if you are feeling dry, even if people feel like it's working, you know you're dry. So always make sure that you get to that point.
Interesting. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.